way with the phone. Sorry. Is because I got an email from YouTube and they're like, hey, they're like, you should do vertical live streams. If you do a certain amount, I don't know, they want people to do vertical live streams. So I'm just doing one because basically YouTube says they want me to kind of see what happens. But also, why not recount the year, recount what's all happened. I've had some great interviews on this channel. Interviewed some people that I really wanted to interview. I've made some great connections, and I'm really thankful for all the people who have subscribed to the channel. So we're at like almost 3,000 now. Let me look. We're at 2,000. Yeah, almost 3,000 subscribers. We're 80 away from 3,000 subscribers. We've gotten quite a bit of views and quite a bit of traffic. Not everybody that watches the video subscribes, so if you're seeing this and you're not subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. Like the video. But yeah, I just think like this year we saw a lot of stuff happen, and obviously going into 2025, we all know that things are probably going to get pretty weird. Before I get into 2025, though, I just really want to reiterate thank you, everybody, for subscribing, for supporting the channel, to all the people who have come on my show and shared their testimony with me. To special thanks to Robert Khalil, who connected me with Kathy O'Brien, Courtney Brown, and just has just been a really helpful and like pushing forward conversation and like giving people a platform. Like I think it's worth mentioning the Typical Skeptic podcast and all the great work he's doing over there. And yeah, I just want to just say, like, moving forward, we've obviously already seen some pretty messed up events. Like, hey James, hey Joyce. Yeah, we've already seen some obviously like disturbing events. And I just want to point out something in this community right now. Is a lot of people, there's two different things that people talk about a lot in this community. It's the toxic positivity is one thing people talk about, which is extremely valid. It's people that are just head in the clouds. Everything's hunky-dory. Trust the process, trust the plan. And they just live in love and light world, and everything's perfect. And everything's going to be great. And, no need for any reconciliation with darkness or like understanding it. Just light is good. And that's, obviously, a little bit unrealistic and kind of toxic. And then on the opposite side of the coin, opposite end of the spectrum, you have people who are like ridiculously negative. We're all doom and gloom. We think that the world's going to end and nothing great is ever going to happen. And I'm doing my best to try to fall somewhere a little bit in between and just be a realist. Like, we have a lot of power. The reason why psychological warfare is so dangerous is because it manipulates people into doing things and accepting things that are bad for society, bad for them, bad for mankind, bad for freedom, whatever. And so my message moving forward in the year, when we're watching these events, that some of them are just going to happen and they're just people, but a lot of them are manufactured. There's a lot of manufactured events because the psychological operations division of the military is extremely busy. And when these events happen, some of these events, it's important to recognize them at face value because they are real. So when there's loss of life and things like that, it's important to recognize it and mourn for these people, especially if you're in the communities that are affected by these events. But the thing that we need to do as a public and a society in order to, move into this more positive future that we all are in agreement on, that we want to have, is we have to hold these people accountable. And the way to do that is by recognizing when these events happen, what do they want our response to be? So that's the big thing that we need to maybe think about more. One, the world does not stink. I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of, I feel the same way sometimes, but we got to keep pushing forward. We have to keep pushing forward, and we have to believe that things can get better, and we have to be warriors for truth, because the world is a dark place. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here with it's important to have this balance and be like balanced in light, balanced in love, and like accept that, love yourself, love other people, accept that the world can be a good place, that we can make it better, while also acknowledging there's a lot of darkness that people are refusing to accept. And it's extremely important for people to accept that there are bad things going on in order for us to mitigate them. So it's like, it's not toxic to be like, there are like, point out problems with things and say that we need to reconcile these problems. And another thing too is, like, I've seen people say it's so toxic when people say that these people are able to control world events and do all this stuff, and they're all seeing and unknowing. It makes them more powerful than they actually are. And what I want to tell you guys is, I understand that but what you need to understand is they do have a lot of power. They do have a lot of money. They have technology, time travel, and all this stuff, and they are manufacturing world events. And basically all we have to do, like the best thing we can do, the most positive thing we can do to actually mitigate this, is just step outside the mind control, look at how they want us to react to things. And instead of reacting in an emotional, knee-jerk way like they want us to, we have to react to things in a more pragmatic way and take into consideration that there are these psychological operations being carried out by military organizations, by central intelligence agencies, and what have you. It's extremely important to recognize that that's real, while also staying solid and firmly with your feet planted on the ground and not going too deeply into it. And still, I want to also accept, like, people to understand that the rabbit hole goes deep, and it's important to stay grounded and try to maintain your normal life, relationship with your friends, your family. If you have that, if they haven't isolated you from them, it's important to try to care about normal life too, and not just be totally obsessed with this stuff. And what do I think about Donald Trump? I think Donald Trump is, well, I've got mixed feelings on it. I'm worried about people's trust in him. I'm worried about the way things could potentially be headed with Elon and Doge, because artificial intelligence controlling government is a very dangerous, slippery slope. This guy kind of like believes in like the coming AI and manifesting the coming AI. That's how I met his little girlfriend Grimes, is because they're both into the religion of like AI overlord. And like, so there's all sorts of stuff I'm worried about. But I don't think things were really going to be going any better if I think things would have also been in a negative direction if it was Kamala. And I think that people need to stop being so distracted by, oh, what do you think of this politician? But at the same time, it is an important issue, because obviously there's a lot of weight, and something to talk about. But basically what I think is, due to him being kind of an outsider, the energy is more chaotic right now. And that can be a very bad and dangerous and volatile thing. But we can use this chaotic energy right now to move into something different. Because before it would have been just like the old guard, the same thing. Things would have moved the same sort of pace, but now things are like jumbled up, I guess. And I think it creates more possibilities. So as far as like as a time traveler, time soldier perspective, like I'm still optimistic for the future. I would have been, if Kamala would have won, either way, I really don't think it matters as much as people think it does. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim to be right about everything, but yeah, I just worry about, like, for instance, like the borders. I've talked about this stuff. The borders. Okay, we want walls and more borders and stuff like that, and security. And when you ask for security, you're going to get it. You know what I mean? You're going to get more security. You're going to get more police. You're going to get more like border checks and like more restriction of movement and stuff like that. So it's kind of like problem, reaction, solution, and that's what I'm talking about with these world events that are happening, like with the refugee crisis and all these things. Like, we know that our military destabilized all these regions, and that the whole reason why this problem exists it's all being manufactured. So you have to look at how do they want you to react to it. And personally, what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to create a xenophobia kind of thing going on and create a mentality where people, I don't know, just kind of can be more hateful and feel okay about it because they feel it's justified. And I just think you got to be careful about that. And I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm not trying to tell people like who to believe, like what politicians to believe in or what to vote for. But I am going to tell you, it's all psychological operation. And I do think that these people, I mean, Trump's an actor. He's an actor. Ronald Reagan was an actor. You know what I mean? So my whole approach from it, pragmatically, as a time traveler, as somebody who's seen it from behind the scenes, the way they pull the strings and manufacture things and stuff like that. Yeah, I just think that, the world stage is a stage. It's just that, a stage, a show. There's a lot of theater going on, and I'm looking at it from that way. I'm not looking at it from like, yeah, I just think that like when these world events happen and when like these crazy world events happen, that these giant groups, government groups or whatever, are pulling off, you have to look at how they want you to react to it. That's kind of what I just want people to think about. And go ahead, look into the psychological operations division of the military. It's a very real thing. They have an Instagram. You can follow them on Instagram. They're out of North Carolina. They're in North Carolina. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah, and moving forward, these rising Bitcoin operating frequencies to abiding more aspects are still tend to power up. Yeah, no, we definitely we can power up. I totally believe in that. Yeah, there's a lot going on where we're like, I've been getting downloads and stuff like that, and I can feel like things are really changing right now. So yeah, don't ever I hope people can understand that just because I'm realistic about like there's some sketchy things going on doesn't mean I don't think we got this and we can make good things happen. I just question things, and I think that's healthy. And it's not because I think things are doom or gloom and we have no power. It's quite the opposite. Like I said, if they create world events, they can do that all day long, but they can't predict how we're gonna react to their events. Like, for instance, the most recent event, the really big one that everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, but knows I can't say the name of on YouTube. They didn't expect us to react the way we reacted. We reacted in a totally different way than they expected, and they didn't get the outcome that they desired. So now they're trying different stuff. And obviously, with these attacks that are happening, let's look at what's going on. People gathering in crowds and mass attacks. I'm going to be careful with my verbiage here. Mass loss of unalivings, basically. There's unalivings going on, and it's making people afraid of public spaces and gathering in large crowds. Well, that seems to be a theme, doesn't it? Trying to make us afraid of gathering in large spaces, gathering with people, being afraid of being with other people. And the thing that people need to understand is they use very real stuff to do it. It's like, yeah, well, no, it's no wonder people are going to be afraid to like gather in a public space if there's people plowing through, with their cars and stuff like that. You're like, of course. Like the thing that's sad about it is it's a reasonable spot to be kind of concerned about this stuff. But what I'm saying is they're very clearly trying to manufacture like fear, and that's how they work. They try to pull everybody into a fear vibration. Like it's not just about the actual violence of the act and the actual moment. It's also about just everybody, just the fear it creates, the wake of it, the wake of the event, how people react to it. It's not just the event itself. And so that's another thing that people really need to look at with these world events that are coming up. And again, I'm just being realistic. Like, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on, right? Like with these two recent attacks that happened at the very beginning of the year, two of these guys were connected to the same military base, which I think is Fort Bragg, which I believe is the one out of North Carolina, which the Psy0ps division is run out of. So it's just like, come on, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like, it's and another thing too is like, you know, me and Kat were having a conversation recently about, you know, what if them patrolling the streets with like National Guard isn't that far off in the future? You know what I mean? We've had this conversation. Well, that's going on right now in New York City. And it's because there's just so much crazy stuff going on and the people want more security, and can you blame them? But like, there's this problem reaction solution thing going on where they're going to try to tighten security. We look at what they did with 9/11. That's what they did. They made security insane in airports and stuff like that, and made it easier to monitor people's travel and restrict people's travel, basically. So yeah, it's just all about how we react, and I think one of the best things we can do is just try not to be in that fear vibration. You know what I mean? Even if you're gonna decide you don't want to be in your cities anymore and let the psyop work on you, which, dude, I don't blame people for it. You know what I mean? If you still can find beauty in the world and live in a good frequency, no matter what's going on. You know what I mean? There's people that live in the middle of the Amazon rainforest right now that have no idea that any of this crap is happening. You know what I mean? So, and then for real, they're really out there. You know, there's people that they don't have TVs, they don't have newspapers. You know, they might hear stuff and people will come visit them. I watch a lot of YouTube and I've seen travelers, and I've seen this guy traveling through the Amazon. So it's like a real thing, you know. It's not like they're just like tribes either, like living out there. Like, it's people, they got, you know, houses and some normal stuff, but they just don't have like electricity, you know. But anyway, so what I'm getting at though is like, it's a complicated thing. Like, people should care about the world. I'm not saying, oh, just ignore it all and don't care. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, like, it's important to recognize your own bliss moving forward, and it's important to just try to stand in your own light, like the people you love and stuff like that. Like, for me, it's like Catherine and the cats, my friends, stuff like that. Try to remind myself of the things that I'm grateful for. And then, yeah, moving forward with the channel, I'm going to wrap things up here in the next like 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going to do a lot more reaction content. I think I maybe did that once. And the reason being is because there's people who've already done really great research and cite all their sources and all that stuff. And I'd basically just be regurgitating their material. And I also know that if their footage, like if their video's up and YouTube's okay with that, then me reacting to it should be okay, if that makes any sense. So I don't think I'll get strikes for this, but I'll be able to put some seriously hardcore information out there. And I've kind of in the past been against this idea because it seems like kind of a cop-out, like it's silly. It is kind of silly just sitting there watching something. But we'll do it with the chat. We'll pause it. We'll talk about stuff. We'll make it more interesting. We'll put our own spin on it. And, like we'll do it live, you know what I mean? So we'll do it with people watching. And we'll give credit where it's due to the creators who create the content. And that way, the people who watch my stuff, they'll kind of can know too also where I'm getting some of my information from, and they can learn more. That's the whole point of this all, isn't it? For us to learn more information. Hey, I really appreciate the $20 gift. You're awesome. I really appreciate that. So that's part of the reason why YouTube wants me to do this, is because it has the option to give me money, and I guess that if I make a certain amount in a certain amount of time, they'll double it, they'll give me money. So like, if they're doing that right now, like they have this promotion, they showed me in my email, like where they'll give you more money on top of what you get paid by people just for using. They want people to do vertical live streams, so that's why I'm doing it. I don't know, I just try to do things on social media. If they're like, hey, we want you to do this thing, I feel like you should probably do it, because the chances of them like shadow banning you or whatever, if you're doing something they literally want you to do and told you to do, I think are a lot less. So, and I feel like I'm talking about all the serious things. That's another thing moving forward, is I feel like we can talk but everything pretty serious on here, all the heavy stuff. We just got to be careful about the words we use and stuff like that. So that's another thing. So moving forward, also there's going to be just some little documentaries or just interesting videos I make where it's going to be less like a Zoom call format. You know what I mean? It's going to be more like edited and stuff like that. I'm going to download DaVinci on my computer. So that's a free editing program. And I'm going to learn how to use it because I have to. And, I've heard good things about it. So that's one I'm going to go with because it's free. And it's also popular. So you can find information on it when you need to on YouTube and stuff. So I'm just kind of trying to, I'm serious about this channel. I want to make it better. I want to be more careful to make sure that I don't get in trouble and get my channel banned as well. So I'm going to have to play a little dance there, but there's a reason why I have a Patreon that you can subscribe to, and a lot of times the content's free. So you don't need to pay, but there's content on there that I can't put on YouTube, and it brings people there, and you have the option to give me $5 a month. You can think on it, you know what I mean, while you're there. And I just think it's a good platform because it's important that, I don't know, it's just like they don't censor people, and there's an easy option to get paid. But yeah, I'm going to diversify a bit. I would very much so like to figure out how to get the show on Spotify. I'm hoping that they still have the good. I'm hoping they're still being decent about. I don't know how they're on their censorship right now. I have to do some research, but basically, I want there to at least be some sort of audio only format in 2025 for this show. So I want to give people the option to just listen to it. I think I'm just gonna do more, honestly. So that's basically it. Like, I'm optimistic. Again, let's look at the Hegelian dialect, people. Let's look at problem, reaction, solution. Let's react in a pragmatic way, not an emotional way. Let's respect humanity, all humans. Let's not let all this crazy stuff going on with refugees and destabilization of certain countries and stuff like that. Not look at, like, let's look at each other as people. Let's continue to do that no matter how different we are from each other. That's a message that I'm always gonna try to send on this show. Let's not give in to xenophobia, to hatred, to all that crap. It's bullshit. It's the last thing we want. We need more love, more acceptance in this world, while also being realistic about stuff, of course, because these problems are real and we need to figure it out. We need to make the whole world a safe place to live so that nobody has to flee their homes. That would be the best case scenario. Do I have all the answers and solutions to how to do that? No, but that would be in a perfect world type scenario, So, but I just have my own unique message here. And hey, Rowdy Wood, I'm also a Wood. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Woods unite. Maybe you're a part of the programs because they're weird about DNA. Maybe we're related, Rowdy. Wouldn't that be weird? But anyway, yeah, just all the handlers and stuff like that might be watching this. I just want to say, light is such a pure, love is just such better. It's just so much better. I don't understand you guys. It's crazy. You guys are crazy. You're literally insane. And I feel sorry for you. Feel sorry for you. Feel sorry that you're probably being blackmailed, that you're probably slaves just like I am. And all I gotta say is, if you want to continue to help humanity be treated like fucking cattle, great. I don't know how you sleep at night. We can do this. We can at least try to fight back. Then again, I just want to say, like, first thing you guys got to do, I don't know, this is a crazy message, you guys, to the people watching this. Like, I know that there's some of these guys watching this, and I kind of don't even know what to say to them. It's just like, it's so messed up. Because I know how it's like. They blackmail you, hold your family against you, things like that. So some of these people might not even be bad people who are doing just the most evil shit, most horrendous shit you could possibly imagine. And they might not actually be bad people. They just kind of have to do it in order to get by and survive. So to you guys, I just want to say, please forgive yourselves, love yourselves, and don't allow them to just be like, oh, I'm a bad guy, so fuck it. I'm just going to go with the program and just be an evil piece of shit. You don't have to do that. You might have to listen to the orders that they give you because you have no choice, but that doesn't have to define you as a human being and your eternal soul. It's up to you whether you let them do that to you. So that's my message to you guys. Even if you're trapped, they can't define your immortal soul. They can define you in this moment because they have you, but eternity is a long time and they will not have you forever. I promise you. And nothing actually dies. Nothing actually goes away. Everything just proliferates and is reborn. So as long as you have patience, we can win. As long as we all have patience, we can win. So happy 2025 and much love to everybody. Expect more vertical streams like this. I'll try to make them a little bit more organized, but when I have thoughts, things I want to say, I guess I'll do this because YouTube seems to want me to. So, and I appreciate the donations as well. That stuff really helps out. If I don't get $100 in the month from YouTube, they just don't pay me. So as long as I make at least $100 off YouTube in a month, I get that every month. But this month I was like right under the $100, so I didn't even get it. And that kind of messes you up when that happens. So it's nice to get donations because if I get just a little bit every time, then I'll easily make that. Because I also get revenue off of people watching my videos. It's not much, but you know how it is. They pay you a paltry amount. But yeah, financial donations are awesome because I do have a job now. It's going to get away in my show. That's another thing I need to bring up. Really important moving forward. Duh. Both the shows are going to start a little earlier now. I think it's 3 p.m. PST and then 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to start a little earlier now. For better or for worse, I hope I still see the same people. I really love the audience that I've built. I really love the people that have been a part of the chat. So it kind of sucks to have to move it around because I know some people have like lives and stuff that goes on at certain times. So I hope you guys can still tune in to the people who do tune in. But it's probably not going to be forever that I have this job. It's just to fill in the spaces until I do a little bit more, maybe speak at more conferences, maybe sell more books, whatever, or figure out some other sort of side gig that relates to this or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic that I won't have to do this forever, but it gives me a little more stability in my life to have this job that I picked up. So that's good. But anyway, yeah, so the show is going to be starting a little earlier. And I think moving forward, I want to focus more on like content that's more like edited and like thought out and stuff like that, and some reaction stuff and things like that. Not as much as interviewing people. And then also when I do interview people, I want to get a hold of some big people. There's some serious people that I want to interview, like some big people. And so as much as I love interviewing like smaller people, because we all start somewhere, and all of our stories are important. Yeah, just like being able to interview Kathy O'Brien and stuff like that really made me realize which was really just Rob. That was Rob. It was all Rob. But these people are out there, and I can find them and I can talk to them. And I think it's more important people talk to me. Like, for instance, one person I'm trying to talk to is Madison Clares. I know that when we finally connect, it's going to be really good because we have complementary information that, she blew my mind with her interviews. I'm sure she hasn't seen mine yet. But I want to interview her. And we do have we have an interview on Tuesday. Brian scheduled a guest. I can't remember their name, but the live stream will be created real soon here. So Tuesday we do have a guest, and then Wednesday we're doing the virtual temple complex. We're right back at it, and yeah, just a little bit of diversifying. I'm gonna try to not just be on. I'm gonna try to go up, post on Rumble more. I'm streaming onto Rumble. You can expect that for the next shows. I'm gonna be streaming on Rumble. unless there's some sort of technical issue that I can't figure out, in which case it'll be as soon as I do figure it out, because it's not like YouTube where you can just pop it up. You got to like enter some code or something. It's weird. Like it's a little more complicated than YouTube. They don't have it totally streamlined like YouTube does yet, but you can do it. So I want to figure that out. But yeah, it's just more. Just expect more. I appreciate you guys. You're all awesome, and we're gonna keep doing this. And there's a lot of I think there's a lot of psychological operations going on even within our community, like psyops within the truther community. And you're gonna hear me talk about that in the coming year. And I'm gonna be less polite about the fact that, hey, I know some things, like I'm not gonna listen to certain shit anymore. Like I'm not gonna just put up with it. So you can expect that, but at the same time, I want people to understand that, like, I don't care what you believe is going to happen or whatever. I don't want to control people's thoughts or opinions, but I do also want to just offer my perspective without having it basically glossed over, I guess, which I sometimes feel has happened. But yeah, I don't mean to be rude with that. I'm just being honest. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody. I really do. It's a privilege to be able to do this weird thing on the internet and know the people I do. And I respect another thing I want to say too is, like, I really respect everybody in the community disseminating this information. Just because there's people out there who I disagree with or don't see eye to eye with on everything doesn't mean I throw the baby out with the bathwater and think that they're just terrible people and you shouldn't listen to anything they say or anything like that. I never said that. I don't bring up names for a reason because I don't want to just throw people under the bus. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to speak my truth. Everybody's just got to speak their truth. I'm not trying to walk all over people by doing that, but I'm also not going to get my truth trampled under other people's narratives, because I think a lot of people are just parroting shit. Meanwhile, I have direct experience and have actually fucking seen things. Not to be rude, but that's just real. I'm just being real. So, because like I've literally been a part of the psychological operations division of the military and like a time traveler and stuff. So like I do have a unique perspective on this. Unfortunately, I don't have just crystal clear memories of everything that happened, but I remember some pretty wild stuff like the Son of Sam. I have a whole video on it. So I know some of the stuff works. Like when, for instance, like for me explaining how they just want fear. They just want fear. Like I remember that. Like from personal experience, that's what they wanted. They literally just wanted people to be more afraid. If they got that, then they were happy. So that's something to take into consideration. Anyway, I literally love you guys. Say I love you more in 2025. It's not weird. It's okay to love people. Let's make that a New Year's resolution. Let's say I love you more. And I think 33 minutes is a good place to stop. Let's stop it at 33. Huh? How does that sound? All right, we're going to stop it at 33 on the dot. I'm going to hit the OK. And yeah, stay tuned for more things and stuff and things. And we're going to end it right on the spot. It's coming. Make a wish, guys. Make a wish.